coffees. And every itinerary that we send out to tour operators, they either have an option of a cruise or a cruise with an Irish coffee. We do corporate dinners at night. We also go out, we'd say the evening from 7 to 11. We do barbecues, main course, and they're followed in on the menu by an Irish coffee. And I always come on board then and I do an Irish coffee demonstration. So what I'm going to show you now this evening is the Irish coffee demonstration that I do when I'm on board with the passengers.
Excellent, off you go.
Okay, so the first thing I do when I'm on board the passengers is I give them the history of Irish whiskey, the little bit that I know, and then I give them the history of Irish coffee, and then I just show them how to make an Irish coffee. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll give you the history of Irish whiskey. This here is Powers whiskey. Our three most famous Irish whiskies are Paddy, Powers and Jameson. Jameson is an international whiskey, so you will find Jameson whiskey all over the world. Paddy's and Powers are a domestic whiskey. Powers you will find in some parts of France and some Scandinavian countries. Powers is unique to Ireland. Powers whiskey is the first whiskey that was used in the first Irish coffee made here in Foynes in 1943. It's an excellent whiskey for Irish coffees because it's a spicier, pepperier whiskey. And one of the reasons for that is that the keg it was kept in. Now, all Irish whiskies are made from pure water and barley, and all Irish whiskies are triple distilled. Scotch whiskey is double distilled, and bourbon is single distilled. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons that Irish whiskey is considered a smoother whiskey. Okay, the keg that it was kept in by Irish law, the keg we use has to be used once before we use it, and by Irish law we can only use it once. Then we have to sell it on to other distillers who use it more than once, or they're chopped up for as planters or for using them at bars or anything like this. So they're sold on like that. On the back of the bottle here you will see 40% volume. 40% volume is telling you the proof of the whiskey. Okay, 40% volume is about 80-85% proof. Now that's all I know about Irish whiskey. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you the history of Irish coffee. 1943 there was a transatlantic flight. It left from Foynes here and it was going to America. It was a very bad night. So about 10 hours into the flight the pilot made the decision that he'd return the plane to Foynes. And at that time, the restaurant in Foynes here was owned by a guy called Bernard O'Regan. So Bernard O'Regan called back all his staff to cater for the passengers. So his head chef at the time was Joe Sheridan. So Joe Sheridan decided that he would make them some coffee to warm them up. So when he was making the coffee, he decided to put a shot of whiskey into each glass to liven their spirits. So he put a shot of whiskey into each glass, and while they're drinking it, one of the passengers said to him, "Hey buddy, is this Brazilian coffee?" And he said, "No, it's Irish coffee." So it was as simple as that in October 1943 that the first